It was both paralyzing and galvanizing.
Jerry Fisher, who lives in Waterford, replays October 7th often. His cousin's son-in-law, Aviv, was killed. The family only found out after remnants of Aviv's body were found on the tip of a bullet.
We despair for him, but we despair even more for all the living hostages. We need a ceasefire. We absolutely need a ceasefire.
Fisher's cousin Yehuda spoke with Fox 61 from Israel, telling us not just about Aviv, but his daughter Liat. Liat was taken hostage that day, among the first to be released in November, thanks to Fisher and Congressman Joe Courtney's work with the State Department.
Liat, I think that she's very special.
She's careful not to demonize all Gazans, and she doesn't give up on a vision for a peaceful Middle East.
A future not widely agreed upon, and one that's been out of reach due to a complex past. A past orthopedic surgeon Ali El-Aidi knew intimately while he was scrubbing in on October 7th.
I didn't think too much of it. There is always tension in the area.
But before he could finish his shift, he understood this was different.
This is going to be bad. This is the first time that there has been an attack from the Palestinian side to this level.
The beginning of all-out warfare in the region, an even worse humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip, where El-Aidi is from, before his family was granted political asylum here.
I think most Palestinians growing up in the United States are afraid to be vocal, afraid to be labeled as sympathizers.
He's now become an awarded surgeon motivated by his roots. That's why he immediately applied for medical mission and headed back home. Other Palestinians and Arab Americans watched from afar, rallying support locally, like Jenna Raba on UConn's campus.
So many students don't even know what Palestine is.
Raba was the president of the university's Students for Justice in Palestine for 4 years, until she graduated last spring. She's a first-generation daughter of Palestinian refugees who were born in a camp. When we spoke with her, she just learned both her uncle and cousin were killed in an Israeli airstrike.
It's a history of struggle. It's a history of pain and death and slaughter, despite all the good parts of it. Palestinians are the most welcoming, hospitable, friendly people you'll ever meet.
That culture, beyond the decades of fighting, is something she's tried to share. It's why she helped lead UConn's encampment, joining the nationwide student movement for ceasefire and divestment. Raba was arrested with 25 others in April. Fellow UConn graduate Basel Al-Najjar's mom was born in Jerusalem post-1948, after Israel was established.
The first thing that I immediately saw were the fear tactics that have been thrown onto us for the past 76 years. When I walked in, there were guns pointed at my face. My family didn't have any voter rights. My family wasn't able to move freely within their own land.
A land already beaten by warfare, resources stripped, and many living in tent camps or other vulnerable infrastructures. That's what Dr. El-Aidi went back to, finding them even worse off.
Whenever you decide to limit the amount of food, limit the amount of aid to 2 million people living in this area, it's very intentional. Not everyone is Hamas. Not everyone is fighting.
After Liat was returned in the November hostage deal, Yehuda got to work with an organization bringing Israelis and Palestinians together to talk what peace could and should look like. Members of that group drafted a ceasefire deal, which Hamas has agreed with, and would bring back all the Israeli hostages taken October 7th. Now he's waiting for it to be officially put on the table.
We all need to recognize the humanity of the other. We don't necessarily have to love each other.
One of my cousins is lost under rubble right now, and we don't know if he's alive. But I have to operate like everything is normal and everything is fine.
I mean, we're going through the Jewish High Holy Days now. Usually you say to a good year, and this year we're saying Shana Yoter Tova, to a better year, because the last year was horrible.
And there was so much more that came out of our conversations, like Connecticut's unique involvement in the war, being the sole engineers of the Israeli-used F-135 engine, to how religious communities and families here can talk about the ongoing violence and fears. For more, be sure to watch our continuing coverage of the policy and, most importantly, the people facing this war. Brent, Bridget.